Good morning, my dear ones, my precious friends. I want you to stop everything you're doing right now. Don't run to the kitchen, don't turn on the TV, just stand still. I want you to walk up to the biggest mirror in your home, the one you've probably been avoiding lately, trying not to notice your reflection. Look at yourself long and hard. Look at yourself with love, but with total honesty. What do you see? Exhaustion, sadness, or perhaps you notice a subtle but annoying puffiness in your face that no expensive cream or makeup can hide. Now perform a simple test I learned from my old world healer years ago. Press your index finger firmly against your shin, just above the ankle bone, and hold it for 3 seconds. Let go, and do you see a deep, pale dimple that refuses to disappear? If that mark stays, you are facing what ancient natural medicine called stone tissue or a frozen swamp. You've grown used to blaming the mirror or the scale. You look at those numbers that won't budge, and you think you're carrying 20, 30, or 40 pounds of pure fat. You beat yourself up over every slice of bread. You torture yourself with restrictive diets that leave you dizzy. You think your willpower has failed you, that you've just become weak in your golden years. But today, I'm here to reveal a terrifying secret that the doctors in high-end clinics and diet gurus won't tell you. At least 10, sometimes even 15 pounds of what's dragging you down isn't fat at all. It is stagnant, dead, toxic water locked inside your tissues like a stone prison with no exit. Your body simply cannot flush it out because your kidneys, your main filter, are in hibernation mode due to stress and the wrong fuel. When I weighed 260 pounds, my body felt like a massive old sponge soaked in dirty water. I was heavy, immobile, and felt like there was no way out. But my healer looked at my tears and said words that changed my life. Val, you don't need another diet that makes you faint. Your body needs a pump. He pointed to a common bunch of pine needles we see in the woods and added, the secret isn't in the soft needles everyone values, but in the tough stems where the tree conserves all its power for the winter freeze. Today, I'm revealing the Pine Needle Pump Protocol. This is an ancient, forgotten method using the very sticks we usually throw in the trash. This special infusion can flush out up to 50 ounces of excess fluid in a single night. I will show you under a microscope why your kidneys went into hibernation and how this golden elixir literally breaks the cellular gates to force that water out. Listen closely. One critical mistake in brewing it and you'll get scented water while your fat stays locked in place. I still shudder when I remember those endless dark nights when I couldn't even clench my hands into a fist because my fingers were like swollen sausages, the skin tight and painful. I felt old, clumsy, and endlessly exhausted. You know that feeling when you wake up already broken, as if you'd spent the night hauling coal? Getting out of bed was torture. I ate 1,200 calories. I lived on starvation rations, but the scale needle stood still, as if glued by superglue. I felt like a failure, convinced my metabolism was simply dead. But the truth was much simpler. My lymphatic system had turned into a stagnant, foul-smelling swamp. Lymph is our internal sewage system, and mine had clogged. Every morning I saw heavy bags under my eyes that wouldn't fade until nightfall, and my ankles had vanished. My legs had turned into 2 heavy pillars. I wore thick sweaters even in the summer heat because I was always freezing. My hands and feet were icy like a corpse. And I didn't understand, where did this chilling cold come from if I was carrying so much fat? The healer answered simply, "Your fat is cold because it's dead. No blood flows through it. It's like a glacier in the Arctic." When I started drinking this pine infusion, after 3 days I suddenly felt the house was hot. My hands became warm. This was the first sign that blood had finally broken through to the capillaries. It was the start of my journey to 90 pounds of lightness. Let's look into the heart of our pine elixir. In pine needles there are amazing substances, terpenes. Science studies them as antioxidants, but for us they are solvents. Imagine that inside every vessel a layer of protein and sludge has built up. Terpenes act as a powerful chemical cleaner. They don't scratch the vessel, they make the buildup fluid like melted butter. Oxygen begins to seep through, and your fat cells finally get the signal, time to work. This isn't magic, it's biology. Pine needles are a broom for your veins. While other foods pass through you, this elixir absorbs into every cell and makes it breathe. In pine, vitamins exist in a living form, bound to organic acids that our body absorbs almost 100%. Your liver suddenly starts to cleanse. You'll notice your complexion changes within a week. If you don't like the taste, add a drop of mint. It doubles the cleansing effect. Now I will show you under a microscope how terpene molecules surround the trash in your blood and dissolve its shell to flush it out forever. Listen carefully. You can take any pine, but you'll get grass, not medicine, if you don't know the main rule. The healer's secret is in quality and location. If you pick branches along busy highways, you'll get poison. A tree acts like a sponge, soaking up road dust and heavy metals. Look for a forest far from the city. Young, bright green, soft needles are your life, your concentrate of youth. If you look at these under a microscope, you'll see a waxy coating, the tree's protection against frost. We must destroy this. How? Finely chop them with scissors to release the juice. And remember, collect early in the morning when the sun is rising but hasn't evaporated the oils. When you go into the forest, greet the tree, ask it for some strength. This is an old rule. If you take with love, it returns tenfold. We must prepare the material so not a drop of dirt remains. Any dust causes bitterness. Now I will show you the difference between a living needle and an old, dry one. You'll see the energy pulsing in the living needle, ready to move into your cup. Let's brew our pine elixir by all the rules. It's not just a drink, it's a morning ritual. I take exactly 3 tablespoons of crushed pine stems. I put them into a ceramic mug and pour in 1 quart of water. But watch out, the water temperature is the key. If the water boils, it kills the terpenes. The optimal temp is 185 degrees Fahrenheit. That's when the kettle has boiled and sat with the lid open for 7 minutes. Immediately cover it. We need exactly 12 minutes, not 5, not an hour. In 12 minutes, the pine gives the water its maximum strength. Watch the color change from clear water to a saturated amber hue. It glows like liquid gold. While it steeps, the essential oils perform their dance. After 12 minutes, remove the lid, but pay attention. Drain all the condensation drops from the lid back into the mug. That's where the highest concentration of the essence is. Then strain the infusion. Now, look under the macro camera at the oily film on the surface. This is your engine of metabolism. Next, we will discuss why you must not eat immediately after drinking this. Many make the same mistake. They drink the infusion and immediately run to breakfast. You must hold a pause for exactly 30 minutes. In this half hour, invisible work is happening. The infusion must not mix with other food. It must pass through the stomach, absorb into the blood, and spread like a cleaning solution. If you eat, the infusion wastes its strength digesting your breakfast instead of cleansing your vessels. These 30 minutes are the time for your metabolic restart. Your liver gets the signal, attention, the cleansing has begun. If you eat now, the signal is interrupted. A glass of this infusion is a command for the body to stop storing trash. When you sit down at the table half an hour later, your digestive fire will be blazing. The body will begin to extract energy from every bite without depositing a single gram as fat. You set the rhythm for the whole day. You aren't just drinking water, you are reconfiguring your entire body. Let's analyze what happens inside. Pine water hits the mark exactly. It suppresses the processes that slow down our metabolism. Gases that inflated your belly disappear. The pressure in your abdomen drops, and you feel the spasm retreat. The liver receives a signal to activate enzymes. This is not just water, it's a command to your cells. Stop sleeping. The fat that was previously locked away because oxygen couldn't reach it now becomes available for burning. You aren't just drinking an infusion, you are starting the engine. Your blood becomes less viscous and runs faster through your veins. You stop feeling numbness in your hands or feet in the morning. Your heart stops working at its limit because it's easier to pump clean blood than thick, rusty blood. This is not magic. This is pure, deep physiology we are awakening. You'll feel life flowing through your veins faster and cleaner. In the next block, I will talk about the results of the first 7 days. You'll learn where those first 6 pounds go and how your face changes when the water prison is destroyed. 7 days. 1 week, it's not much in a lifetime, but it's an eternity for your body. If you drank the pine infusion every morning, by the 8th morning you won't recognize yourself. But the real miracle won't be on the scale, but in how you feel. The first thing you'll notice, your belly has become soft. Remember that hard, painful knot? It surrendered. The infusion dissolved the old deposits, and now your gut works like a clock. You will wake up without that unpleasant bloated feeling. Second is your face. The gut is the mirror of the skin. Once you've flushed out the toxins, they stop exiting through your pores. The greyness and puffiness will vanish. The whites of your eyes will be clear and bright. And now, the weight. In the first week, my girls lose 6 to 10 pounds. But honestly, this isn't pure fat yet. It is the water prison, the excess fluid your inflamed body was holding for years. You are literally shedding an old toxic burden. Your metabolism, which was stalling, is now free. Each calorie becomes energy, not fat. I'll show you under the microscope how your lymph structure changes from thick sludge to a crystal clear stream. In the next block, I'll give you a 14-day schedule. My dear ones, listen very carefully. Pine needle infusion is a powerful remedy, but it has strict prohibitions. First, if you have kidney or gallbladder stones larger than a quarter-inch, no bile stimulation. You can move the stones, which is painful and dangerous. See a doctor first. Health is safety, not a race for a thin waist at any cost. Second, organ transplants. If you take immunosuppressants, do not drink this. It boosts the immune system aggressively, which could trigger rejection. We don't want to risk your life for a thin waist. Third, if you have very low blood pressure, the infusion can lower it further, causing dizziness. If you are already taking blood-thinning medication, remember that pine needles do the same thing naturally. Don't cause a double strike on your vessels. True wisdom is knowing when to stop. If you have any doubts, start with half a cup. Listen to your body, it never lies. Health is not just beauty, it's responsibility. If you aren't on this list, the path is open. Next, I'll show you how the infusion reaches deep visceral fat. On the 8th day, the most critical moment arrives. Your liver has cleaned itself, your insulin has calmed, and your body is ready for the hunt for visceral fat. This is the dense, hard inner lard that wraps around your liver, heart, and pancreas. It's the primary source of disease and aging. Fermented pine helps the liver produce special enzymes that literally gnaw through these fat capsules. You might notice the weight moves slower, maybe a quarter pound a day. Don't panic. Your waist measurements will melt away. Your belly will become soft, pliable, and begin to recede. The elders used to say, water leaves noisily, but fat melts quietly. Your old pants will begin to button without effort. You'll feel lightness when bending over. You'll be able to tie your shoelaces without holding your breath. You'll feel how easy it is to breathe fully because fat is no longer pressing on your diaphragm. This is the time of most active burning. This is when your body begins to rebuild itself from the inside out. You'll want to move more. The energy that was wasted fighting inflammation now goes into your muscles. I will show you on a 3D model how the active substances of pine penetrate deep into fat tissue and starts dissolving it from within. It's like a hot knife through butter. Want to accelerate your results? Add a single drop of high-quality lemon juice. Lemon thins the bile, helping it flush out the dissolved fat faster. It's like dish soap for your vessels. Together, they work perfectly. But remember, just a drop. No need to make lemonade. The goal is an enzymatic kick. I've tried various spices, but lemon combined with pine is an absolute classic. You'll feel this after just a week. Your skin will become smoother, the earthy complexion will fade, and your eyes will shine. This is stagnant bile leaving you. If you don't like lemon, you can use apple cider vinegar, but only organic, cloudy with sediment. 1 drop per glass of water works wonders. This is your path to purity, your opportunity to force your body to work for you. I will show you under a macro camera how to combine these two forces properly so they turn into a powerful cleansing balm that leaves fat cells no chance of survival. Next, I'll explain the rest day secret, why you must pause once a week so your body doesn't get used to the medicine. Remember, nature does not tolerate violence. Even the best medicine can become a poison if taken without stopping. Our body is incredibly cunning. It quickly gets used to stimulation. Starting in the second week, we introduce the rest day rule. Usually this is Sunday. On this day, we don't touch our jar. We give the liver and pancreas time to consolidate the result on their own. This is like a gym workout. Muscles grow not during the exercises, but during rest. On this rest day, I recommend drinking only pure warm water with a drop of lemon. The elders said, "Let the earth rest after the harvest." This rest day doubles the effect of the pine infusion. You'll notice that on Monday morning, the taste of the nectar seems even brighter. That means your receptors have reset. Without this pause, your metabolism might fall asleep after 2 weeks. But a rest day does not mean a cheat day. You shouldn't binge on candy or fatty foods, or you'll kill the result. On this evening, we have a different ritual. We feed our new clean residents, the microflora. The best treat for them is a baked apple. Bake 1 apple in the oven without sugar, just a tiny pinch of cinnamon. Pectin forms when baking. It's an ideal prebiotic. It's bread for your defenders. While you rest from the pine, the pectin gently heals small cracks in the intestines and nourishes your new microflora. In the morning, after this day off, you won't just feel light, you'll feel a real surge of strength. Your skin will be even clearer because the pectin will soak up the last of the toxins. Now I will show you the structure of a baked apple. These transparent fibers, that is the building material for your health.
Look closely at these photos. This is Marina. She's 63. She came to me in complete despair. She weighed 218 pounds with that stone belly. She was crying, "Val, I eat only vegetables, but my belly is growing." She had that chronic intestinal inflammation. We started our pine protocol. Marina called me on the 5th day shouting, "Val, I walked past the bakery and didn't even turn my head." That was her first victory over the sugar addict inside her. After a month, look at the result, minus 25 pounds. But the most amazing thing isn't the number. Look at her face. She looks 10 years younger. The puffiness is gone. Her skin is tighter. Her eyes shine. Marina wrote, "For the first time in 10 years, I feel light as a feather. I don't walk, I fly." When you cleanse cells of inflammation, you don't just lose weight. You shed the burden of old illnesses. My girls report chronic fatigue vanishes. Joints stop aching because the blood is clean and thin. The belly is no longer hard, it's soft and starts to recede. This is the greatest reward. When your body stops being your prison, you'll start to see the contours of your body again. Remember, this isn't magic, it's biology that we've brought back to normal. Now you have the map to a new life. Let's put our pine protocol into one clear checklist. Take a screenshot or write this down in your notebook. Believe me, this is the map that will lead you to your goal. Your cleansing kit will cost you less than a single restaurant meal, but its value is $1 million. You are investing in your vessels, your liver, your youth. Your 14-day schedule is your law of transformation. First week, preparation. Every morning at 7, crush 3 tablespoons of pine needles in a mortar. Pour over 1 quart of water, 185 degrees. Steep for 12 minutes. Drink 30 minutes before lunch. Second week, deep cleansing. Add a drop of extra virgin olive oil for the emulsion. Sunday, rest day, baked apple in the evening. Look at this process as launching a high-tech cleansing system. In the first 3 days, the excess water will go. By the 7th day, your blood will be cleaner. By the 14th day, your belly will be soft and flat. But remember, not a single grain of sugar or white bread for these 2 weeks. Otherwise, our infusion will have to fight fermentation instead of fat. I'll show you what the perfectly prepared ingredients should look like. Health is not a luxury, it's just order.
You've flooded me with questions this week. Let's answer the most important ones. Often asked, Val, can I drink pine water if I have gastritis? If your gastritis is acute, no pine water. First, heal the mucous membrane with a gentle diet. Pine is hot, it can cause irritation. If it's dormant, drink it by all means, it will help. Second, can I replace fresh needles with store-bought oils? You can, but the effect is different. Living needles which you prepared yourself contain lively fiber and the full spectrum of volatile substances. Oil in bottles is often oxidized. Third, what if I miss a day? Nothing terrible will happen, just continue the next morning. Metabolism is like a pendulum, you need to swing it. Don't quit. Even if you miss 2 days, you aren't starting from scratch. I'll show you on a chart why regularity is more important than the dose. Ask questions in the comments. I'll pick the most interesting ones for the next issue. Don't be afraid to change your life. In each of you sleeps a beauty who just needs help waking up.
My dear ones, this great secret of the ancestors is now in your hands. Please remember one thing. Old age is not the numbers in your passport or the wrinkles by your eyes. Old age is the moment when your own body stops obeying you and turns into a heavy, clumsy burden. Do not let sugar, this insidious white poison, consume your life, your precious energy and your natural beauty. Your jar of pine needles, harvested for pennies, is your faithful sword in the fight for your future. Start tomorrow morning. Brew your first infusion and take your first step toward freedom. In just a week, looking at your flat belly and fresh face, you will thank yourself. Your new life starts not on Monday, but with this glass of warm, living water at 7 in the morning. Write to me in the comments right now who is ready to run their own internal pump with me tomorrow. I read every word you write and pray for each of you. Subscribe to our channel, hit the bell so you don't miss our meetings. Next Thursday, I will reveal the secret of the iodine butterfly, how to wake up your thyroid. Be healthy, be light, my dear ones. Remember, nature loves us. She has given us everything for healing. Until we meet in our new, clean and happy life, your Val.